They say that the Olmec-Maya are Africans. They walked across the land bridge to Central America when the continents were one. Why should galactic travelers have to walk across a land bridge when they are privy to airships? Why didn't they just fly over? Do these brothers realize, or do they not know, or is it a conspiracy to keep us blind? The Anunnaki, that's who we are. Ethiopians in the caves who come out with this supposed Ark of the Covenant on their shoulders. That's not the Ark that Moses had. That there's no covenant in there. The covenant is the agreement made with the Anunnaki in those times. Well, I believe it was about 3113 BC. It's 13 or 31 BC backwards, when Venus tilted on her axis. The ancient Maya started their calendar. The code is in that calendar based upon the number 13. The covenant is when they left, they promised to return. How we contact them is the prophesied signal for the landing of the Holy Mothership. We are together, as it said in the Bible, when the children of Israel cried out in unison, the gods, God remembered the covenant. So if we make the sound, they will know that we are ready. That is what we're supposed to be doing now. Okay, there is no ark in the covenant. There's no covenant in the ark. That's what's most important, not the box, not the ark, but the covenant. The ark is the music, the Naya Bengi, this mechanism that we have to communicate telepathically with our brothers and our sisters.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody got certain doorways to come in, the consciousness. I say, so,
Nine Gish Zida, son of Enki, master of genetics and other sciences, called Tahuti, thought in ancient Egypt, went with his followers to Central America Quetzalcoatl. You're now in tune. On the one, the force itself. At this time, we call it the Master Blaster Jamming. I'll say it again where the scholars can get it. This is Nuwabu 101, curriculum for the black scholars. Listen close. Nine Gish Zida. This is Anunnaki. Nine Gish Zida. Son of Enki, master of genetics and other sciences, called Tahuti, i.e. thought, in ancient Egypt, went with his followers at the height of the pyramid building in Egypt to Central America. He was known in Central America This is Nuwabu 101, curriculum for the black scholars. Why we are not prepared as a people. In black academia, there is an identity crisis. No one seems to know their own history. They seem not to know who they are. They beat around the bush at the snake, but will not go into the bush to kill the snake. The mindset seems to be a conspiracy and consensus among black academia, and is passed on to ignorant students. In the early 80s, I coined a phrase, evil is oftentimes ignorance not knowing itself to be so. A black intellectual, Dr. Phil Valentine, who has a large young black following, tells his followers that the Olmec-Maya are Africans, and he is in concert with the older black scholars, the ancient black scholars, Roanoke Rashidi, Van Sertima, Delbert Blair, etc., etc. They say that the Olmec are Africans who walked to the Americas over the land bridge before the continental shift. They will not teach and appear not to know that Anunnaki, those who from the heaven came to earth in the past, they seem to not to want to teach that Anunnaki, who came some 445,000 years ago, are the Olmec, and they were the Meteorite. He was Anunnaki named Nangishkadida. Over the past 30 years, I have made this clear. I have made the connection through my work. I haven't charged a penny for it. These black academians make their living for telling their half-truths. I call it handing the like the Sunday morning tele-evangelists hand the people truth on the golden platter of falsehood. Once they say Jesus is Lord, the whole sermon is a lie. These black scholars, I have made it clear through my work who Olmec Maya is. They are Anunnaki. All past history concerning this subject is one book or verse called the Universe, i.e. the one verse or book. This wisdom starts in the heavens. The movements of the stars tell or reveal the stories written in stone and what is known to us as Holy Scriptures. The stars or planets are aligned with the monuments which are scattered around the globe and other planets. All is one. The art is universally produced by the same people, who are called the scatterers in Holy Quran, chapter 51. Why chapter 51? Because each of the four triangular sides of the Great Pyramid, which is nucleus or focal point of all wisdom upon orb-ship Earth, each slope upward from the base at an angle of 51 degrees, 51 minutes, and each side has an area of 5.5 acres. This is a deliberate code set and left by the ones who are known as Anunnaki. First at Egypt, they are all one. Maya, Naya of Cambodia, etc., etc. All the monuments around the globe and upon the heavenly planets were put there by one same people. All the same, only different art forms corresponding to the local environment. The created beings are the humans, the Adam, the Anunnaki, the blacks are the creators. Blacks on earth today are descent of those gods. We are not human. We are the original gods. We are the men, not human, but man. Hue is a shade or copy of the original, a reflection of. This is the great mystery set aright by the Rastafari movement via Ital Ayman I, not by the black so-called scholars. This is why there seems to be an invisible thread which binds all cultures. It is because there is only one black God. The red Maya are characters of the Codex. Like a comic book, it is all functional art. The red Maya, the Hopi Indian, they are same people, characters of the book, created and written by Anunnaki. Like the stones, they all tell our story. Blessed and chosen are they who can read this book of life. We are the few. Dr. Phil Valentine tells his followers that the Maya real name, he found the real name of the Maya, discovered the Tamoacans. Myths about Tamoacan describe it as the place where all beings in the world originated. Talocan, it was said, was a terrestrial paradise located inside a perpetually green and beautiful mountain that was the destination of humans who died by drowning, lightning, or disease. No. Olmec Maya or Anunnaki, those who from heaven came over 445,000 years ago, dropped down first in modern day Iraq. Those are the ancient Maya. You are now in tune on the one, the force itself. At this time we call it the Master Blaster Jamming. We know that Olmec means the rubber people. The white archaeologists named those heads, those people, after the trees there in the forest. And there was a reason that these heads were found 50 yards into the jungle. And the original information concerning the Olmec heads, they were found 50 yards into the jungle from the ocean. So why 50 yards? It depicted the rotation of Ptolemy, the smallest star around the largest star, Sirius, every 50 years. And the Dogons celebrate that rotation, that 50-year rotation, every 60 years. Why 60 years? Because every 6,000 years there's a natural disaster. Noah was 600 years of age when the floods came. See my work, my videos, the Blue Star Kachina of the Hopi and the Return of Pohana, and you will understand what I am saying here more better. What I want to do here is cause out that you see that our black scholars are the ones who are holding us back. For some reason, they are not telling us the truth. They're even saying that they understand that there's such thing as reptilians. And we have a lot of young brothers and sisters that would be listening at other people with truth like myself, but they're caught up into these so-called scholars. Notice that there is something about these academians. They're the consensus among them. It's a fraternal thing. If you didn't go to their schools or you're not part of the system, then they try to hold you back. They try to hold information back. And notice they only give you a little bit of rhetoric, and then you're going to have to pay for the rest of it. The rest of the so-called truth you're going to have to pay for.
There is the God Sokar. He is standing there and he has open arms, outstretched arms, and he has wings on his arms, and he's standing on the back of a snake, and the snake has a head at the head and a head at the tail. You go to Mexico, and there is this God standing there with arms outstretched, wings on his arms, standing on a snake with a head at the head and a head at the tail. How come? The god Aken, he pointed to the double rope swallowing god, identical. The faceless Aken with the swallowing the double rope there in Mexico in the Olmec world. He shows feathered sunshades, made of 3 concentric circles, 3 colors. These are very detailed things. These are very complex correspondences. They're not flukes. And there you find the same thing duplicated. The double crown. Who wears the double crown in all the world except the Egyptians who united the north and south, for whom there was a political necessity to have a double crown, the red and the white crown. And there among the Olmec, we found 2 examples of it now. Chief dignitaries wearing a double crown. The flail, the crook, you find it on the Olmec dignitaries as among the Egyptians. The use of purple, we have found the codex. A codex is recent, Natal Codex, showing pictures of black-skinned as well as red-skinned kings in ancient America. And you look at the nobility.
Something going. In the meantime, as we begin this night, it's my great honor and privilege to introduce you to someone that you all know because you're in his house, but a personal hero of mine, a man who I feel like is setting a new precedent for the next level of consciousness on planet Ocean. Baba Jah Levi. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for him right now. This is another name that I'm just getting introduced to this Baba, but I want to make sure I say his name exactly right. Ital Iman-I. Let's give a big round of applause to this beautiful Baba. Please lend your ears, lend your hearts as these two Babas guide us.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, everyone. How you feeling?
Yeah.
All right. So I'd love to try to get everyone to come in and focus here a little bit. We're just going to talk about a few things. With my brother here, he came a long way to come here. He came from Jacksonville, Florida. And he got on his first airplane in 14 years to come and be here with us all. So I'd like to honor him.
They say that the Olmec-Maya are Africans. They walked across the land bridge to Central America when the continents were one. Why should Galactic Travelers have to walk across a land bridge when they are privy to airships? Why didn't they just fly over? Do these brothers realize, or do they not know, or is it a conspiracy to keep us blind? The Anunnaki, that's who we are. Ethiopians in the caves who come out with this supposed ark of the covenant on their shoulders. That's not the ark that Moses had. That there's no covenant in there. The covenant is the agreement made with the Anunnaki in those times. Well, I believe it was about 3113 BC. It's 13 or 31 BC backwards. When Venus tilted on her axis, the ancient Maya started their calendar. The code is in that calendar based upon the number 13. The covenant is when they left, they promised to return. How we contact them is the prophesied signal for the landing of the Holy Mothership. We are together, as it said in the Bible, when the children of Israel cried out in unison, the gods, God remembered the covenant. So if we make the sound, they will know that we are ready. That is what we're supposed to be doing now. Okay, there is no ark in the covenant. There's no covenant in the ark. And that's what's most important, not the box, not the ark, but the covenant. The ark is the music, the Naya Bengi, this mechanism that we have to communicate telepathically with our brothers and our sisters.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody got certain doorways to come in, the consciousness. I say, so,